Hello YouTube, this is Gil coming at you with a video. This is my first one I'm actually going to add to my channel, and what it's pertaining to is changing a CV axle on a 98 Durango. Been looking and there hasn't been a whole lot of videos on anything to deal with changing parts on these, so we're going to put this CV axle in. It's not too complicated, but yet it is a part that some people, there's been a lot of talk about that you have to do all this, have to take all this other stuff off in order to change this part. But it's actually not the case. You only have to take some bolts off of the middle connector, and I'll show you that a little later in the video, and take a main nut off the outside of the hub, and then you can just slide her out the back, even though you do have to pry it a little bit without taking the other parts they suggest taking off. But you can do it without damaging the part or anything else. So, I'll get back to you once I get everything set up. Okay, we are back, and to first get this big nut off, first thing you need to do is take this cotter pin and keeper washer off the outside. This is the original nut on this one. The new CV axle came with its own nut, but I'm putting back this one because this is a nice steel nut versus the brass one that come with the new one. So yeah, you gotta take that off, and see the CV axle right here. There's 6 nuts, or bolts I should say, that are attaching it to the front drive, and so you gotta take those out and this off first. So we're gonna get right to that. Okay, YouTube, I'm back. I had to run down to AutoZone and pick up a 32mm socket because, unlike I had previously thought, that the old nut is the same size as the one that came on the new CV axle, I was wrong. And so, now we're going to get down to business. And, just like that, she's loose. But, I'm not going to go ahead and take this all the way out just yet. Oh, you little turd. My brother's messing with me. So, the next thing you need to do is there are 6 bolts. James, bring me the black box over here. Black box? Yeah. Black box? The original size on these, as far as the nuts go, are a 15mm. I had to buy some extras because when I got into this vehicle, some idiot didn't put everything back, and so there's a bunch of parts missing, and so I've had to monkey rig some stuff. But as far as this goes, it's pretty much basic. And the ones I put on here are exactly, there we go, a 16mm, which is just barely bigger. So, the ones I put on are 16s and the originals are 15s. Because that's all Fastenal had. They didn't have a 15mm setup that I could use. So, I've just had to use what I can. Which is what you have to do sometimes. I tend to put stuff on tighter than it's supposed to be, so. Okay. Alright, James, I'll need you to get in there and take it out of full-wheel drive so I can leave this axle. It'd be nice if I could, but it's locked. And as far as this video goes, I'm going to cut and edit, James, so there's some things they won't actually see. Yeah.
gotta remember, you gotta move that camera around, or else they will know nigh to nothing about what the hell you're talking about.
So y'all can see, these are the ones I had to buy, and these are the ones that actually come on it.
Okay.
Alright, re-engage.
I think I locked the keys in.
You better not have locked it.
This thing's confusing. How do you tell this one's recording?
Does that little red light on?
Does it have a little red light on supposed to be flashing?
I'm talking about on the screen. It's got
I don't know, it's so
red numbers.
bright out, can't see worth a flip.
That's right, you're partially blind. I forgot. My bad. Okay.
And you're partially a dick. You want me to undo the...
Disengage
forward?
forward drive.
Disengage.
Huh?
Disengage.
Okay. Disengage. Okay. Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm down to the last two. And after taking them out by hand, well, shucks.
Ooh, a penny.
Oh, there's the last one.
Done?
Now comes the fun part. Because you have to slip this out and at the same time get it to turn and get past these nubs. So, pull it back some, camera. So what you gotta do is go from this way, pull back, compressing the innards of it. And
I get a good spot right here. Maybe.
get it to turn out.
Bananas. And routes.
So messed up right here that it's not wanting to compress like it should, because the other one will compress a lot easier than this thing. Now she slides.
Should slide. That doesn't work. Use something that will. Nope.
Oh, that's what it is. When you don't do stuff for a while, it kind of gets to where you forget. So,
That's a damn butt over here. And I'm getting some more sunburnt. It's not all the way in, Gil. That's what she said.
this is a 3/4. That's right. One other thing I forgot to mention, to clear, because of the way on this 98 Durango that the shock sets, to get this out without taking off all the other parts, you'll have to take off the shock as well. And so got it busted loose. Now I'm gonna run it down using a ratchet. And voila.
This is too small for the hoe and she won't feel a single thing. Not funny.
As you can see, she was shocked.
Who shot her?
And now for the going back. And here's our brand new one. Nice and pretty. And hopefully I'll get many, many good years out of this thing. This is nice and tight like it's supposed to be instead of being loose as a goose.
She said.
Now if that's butted up against there,
It actually fits.
that can't be good. What? Looks like I've got a bad bearing in this front hub too. Not front hub, but front differential. That looks like a later project. You know what, YouTube? It's the only thing about working on old vehicles. If it ain't one thing, it's another. As you see, bam, I'm already back up there. And all I need now is my bolts.
Damn, he likes banging things.
sure do. What the hell are you doing?
Being weird.
Now see here, kids, all Z has to do is line it up. And put the thingies in the holes.
And for you, those of you that haven't figured it out, my little brother is a little bit of a moron.
Love to be one.
No, that's right. Disconnect the drive.
Ooh. You still in full.
And leave it off for a second so I can get all these in. So the balance will be a little bit more even this time. I'm going to go ahead, since the weights are the same between only 2 of the nuts, and then the other 4 are the same weight, I'm going to go ahead and skip 2 before I put the other original back in. So that way the bolts will be the same all the way across. And after I get these last 2 in, then I'll start my tightening. Okay, go ahead and put it back in full drive so I can get these 2 tightened down.
Back and forth.
Okay, back into okay, back and forth. 2.
4-2.
Okay, back and forth.
Huh?
Back and forth.
4.
Okay.
Make up your mind.
And that concludes it as far as getting the inner bolts back on. Now, oh shucks. I will put it to socket before I'm done with it. And grab the roller. Anyway, now that that's on there, basically the only thing to do left is
Tighten the big nut.
tighten this big nut down. Like I said, I'm going to go back with the original steel nut versus this cheap brass nut that came with it. And
What? This will still work. Just put it on like that.
you are more.
Tighten it up.
Take it off. Okay. Push it.
It's on. As tight as I can get it, unless you can get it tighter. Of course, I was sitting down on my $5.
And of course, I can get it tighter because I'm also heavier than you are.
I was sitting down on my $5. So I
That
couldn't
too.
put any weight. Do not agree with your fat brother. Oops. I agreed with you many times. I messed up that rule.
Where's those pliers?
I don't know. Where do you put your pliers?
I gave them to you.
No, you didn't. You threw them on the floor.